It's Clark and Perry on the case. Da-na-na-na. Clark and Perry
Do what it takes.
Da-na-na-na. Clark and Perry investigate.
The activities and interests of local artists in the Windy City's finest throughout both Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, Alberta. Available on TELUS, Optic TV, On Demand, VidFlex, YouTube, and more for limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
Da-na-na-na.
So I get a question. So what I understand about these tools, we have a huge variety. I don't. Are these all of yours, or are these a mix
the
of
majority of these are mine. You can almost tell by if it has the Western filter on it. A friend of mine likes to call it, where if it looks quite old, it's probably not me.
Okay.
And so by that, like this belongs to the fort here.
Okay.
It's fun depending on what we're doing. Sometimes they'll have me use some of this old stuff, but for the most part, I just let it. It looks quite pretty and interesting to people.
Yeah. But like, what were the like? So it looks like there is lots of room for a different variety of tools. So I guess that would depend on what type of product or project you were working on, right?
So obviously we've got a number of these round jaw tongs.
Yeah,
here, and those are made for just what you'd imagine, holding bar stock that's round, and that's the best way you can get a grip of those, and they're fantastic and handy. That's part of why I'll often start with round bar stock here at the fort, is because they do have a lot of the tongs that are round,
right?
And so that just works. But then of course you got smaller bits like this that are for gripping flat pieces of metal and such. So that's quite nice, and you can kind of see there like a flat plane would fit. And then like the one that I always bring this with me because this is just one of my go-tos, where again we showed that on camera. It's got that nice little groove, and that way you can work with small pieces, but you can also work with nice flat chunks as well.
Okay, so you try to make them as multi-purpose as possible.
Exactly.
These are some interesting hammers I see. So these ones, I'm assuming, are a little bit more modern looking. I would assume these to be yours.
They are.
What do you use these two for?
Right. So this particular one it's got a ball peen on the one side, which is that nice rounded edge on the hammer.
Right.
That's really good for dishing. Is what it's called. So basically, back in my shop, I have what's referred to as dishing stumps, where they're basically picture a stump like this, a little bit higher up, and then it's got like literally a bowl shape in it of different sizes, different ones.
Right.
And a lot of that's used in armoring, or if you're working with copper, doing copper smithing, then you can like make really nice, like think of a Moscow Mule drink, one of those cups,
right?
Or like even just pretty, like a lot of jewelry you can do that way. So it helps shape the metal to that nice
okay, so it really helps.
On the opposite side, we've got a nice plain flat squared edge, which is really good for when you're trying to make that match. You'll have a flat surface anvil working on the flat, and you're just spreading it out real good.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense too.
And then like kind of going off from that,
we
like
have this
got
one
this
here
piece
too.
Here, which is a really good way of starting punches. Which is basically getting holes in the material, and from that you'll come over to one of these two, depending on the size. And that's, you just start it with this, like 1 or 2 hits to make the mark in your project of where you want the hole, and then you'd move to, I don't have it here, but you'd actually move to what's called a punch itself.
A punch itself, okay.
Do we have something similar? That'll be something like a tool like this, but it'll be obviously straight into a point. Where again you'll have one person
holding, and then the other person goes and punches.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Very nice, very nice.
And then another really an underappreciated tool is the wire brush, which you're going to use, and you'll see as we're finishing off projects, you're cleaning slag off that without hammering it, and that's a good way of finishing a lot of your work
without having to worry about shaping or reshaping.
And if we're forge welding, which is basically like welding before you had welding sticks and guns, is where you'd get the two metal bits hot enough, and you'd add a bit of flux, and then you'd like actually hammer those together and weld them together.
Yeah, put them together.
There's some neat examples of that around the shop here. Because that's the only way they were able to bind metal. If it wasn't riveted. So
okay, that makes sense.
So we're ready in that section.
Looking pretty hot.
Middle section set.
All right.
So let's get all set there. Alrighty. And so again, we'll do probably like I'm going to say 5 or 6 on the one side, and then I'll let you know, and we'll turn it again.
5 or 6?
Yeah, and remember, we're going to be kind of like where it's hottest, which is that middle bit there.
Yeah, I see that. Okay.
So just pull it out, get a good grip. There we go.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, right there. Go for it. Bit more. Yeah, that's it. There you go. There you go. Good, good. Yeah. And we're going to turn it.
Okay.
Whoa. Hang on a minute. There we go. Go for it. Yeah. Nice. And then work up the.
Oh,
my
sorry
bad.
about
My
that.
bad. Here, try
work up.
Straighten that out.
There we
go.
go.
Straighten that out there. And one more here. Good. And let's go a bit. Yeah. Nice. Nice. There we go. And we'll give her a go there because it's cooling down nicely. So we got a bit of a curve here that we'll fix, as you can kind of see.
Okay.
And it's a bit round there, so we'll do a little bit of work on this side. This side's looking pretty nice. So yeah, we'll basically work on straightening that part out and then dealing with the bit here and just squaring that off a little more.
Yeah.
And then we'll start working it into what we're wanting.
Okay, sounds good. There definitely comes to an experience piece. I could definitely admire that because there's a lot to be looking at.
For sure.
If you're trying,
yeah.
I mean, I find I have a very fast rhythm for just a beginner right now because there's a lot to be paying attention to. There's the shape, there's the slag that comes off, and then it's slowly cooling, so it's kind of blending in with the anvil a little bit more. So
exactly.
There's a lot to be watching out for, which is
and
very
often
nice.
You've probably, I'm not sure exactly what it would look like on Forest and Fire because they often light those sets up to be bright for the filming. But a lot of smiths will work in a darker environment. Because then you can see that color a lot easier.
That makes sense.
Not dark that you're stumbling around, but darker.
Yeah.
Or they'll have indirect light or something like that.
Well, they really want to pay attention to that amber, I can imagine, right? That amber color.
Exactly,
okay, interesting.
Yeah. And
well,
so while that's heating,
I might take a water break here real quick. It's very important to hydrate here.
I'm going to grab me a coffee because that's important. Not exactly hydrating, but I don't do a lot of art without caffeine.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And that's something too, oddly enough. I'm not sure who the first guy was to figure this out, but in the blacksmithing community, you can get some really neat patterns by what you quench it in. We haven't done any quenching yet, but that's when you cool the material in, like, a bucket or something. There's different quenching mediums.
Okay.
Obviously just plain water, which is what we're working with right now. A brine, which is just salt and water, and different oils as well. And depending what you're doing, what you're wanting to achieve, those all have different uses. There are some smiths who will just pick one and live and die by it. Doesn't hurt.
Right.
But coming down to coffee, someone somewhere found out that instant coffee makes quite a neat pattern on it.
Really?
When you quench an instant coffee. So little known fact, some of us blacksmiths, if you see some neat patterns, might be quenching it in like instant coffee or mustard, things like that. Yeah. So.
Oh my goodness. So
there you go.
that just kind of like, essentially you placing the hot metal in, essentially just kind of like, fuses those molecules that get evaporated right off the bat onto the steel?
So
or how does that work?
Basically, that's moving into the chemistry of it. There are some smiths that I know that are actually chemists that got into smithing because of how fascinating it is. I'm not even going to pretend. I'm not very good at knowing all the actual chemical reactions that's going on. But I do know that with the different quenching and things that or quenching mediums, that is what's happening is there's a chemical reaction going on between the elements within the steel and the elements within that quenching medium. And they react to make some really cool stuff.
That's really neat.
So yeah,
instant coffee.
A lot that I've trial and errored, and the instant coffee one does work. It's such a weird thing, but yeah.
And we just have water. Is that right?
Just
okay,
nice,
perfect.
Water.
Nice and classic and even.
Exactly.
That's all right.
Traditional,
Yeah, traditional. That's right. Okay, no, that's interesting. Instant coffee. That seems to be.
And mustard. Mustard is like this kind of tear shape. That you get in raindrops on your work, and that's quite cool.
I haven't seen that on Forest and Fire. I'd love to see that here too one day.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too, where whether or not the smith will admit what they're using, might be another question. You know? Sometimes I don't mention it to some people what I'm doing. So But part of that trade secret, but also just kind of fun. It's just kind of a neat wonky thing. So I think what we'll do here now, when we've had a bit of a pause, is we're going to do something a little different. Actually, we'll work on that small piece because it's getting pretty toasty and ready to go. So we'll do some work on that, and then we'll do something different after here.
Okay.
So go on and get ready. I'm just like running you on this because you're doing a great job. So
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I like hitting stuff.
Oh yeah, it's very therapeutic, eh?
Yeah.
So again, kind of, where do we go? This area here, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're gonna turn it after that.
Okay.
There we go. So flatten her out. Yeah, nice. Good, and turn. Yeah.
There, that's the round bit.
There you go, good job, good job. Nice. Nice, and that's probably gonna be where we'll stop for the moment.
Okay.
But we're getting pretty good. There's 1 or 2 round bits, but we'll
That's
probably do 1 or 2 hits on this one after we heat it.
okay.
Maybe 1 or 2 here.
Okay.
But I'd say it's basically nice and squared off at this point.
Okay.
And then we'll start turning it into our bottle opener.
One more round,
Yeah.
and then we start modeling. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it.
So while we're working up to that, let's see, which tools do I have at my disposal? So I'm just going to grab another set of pliers here, and then we'll use those as well. So what we're going to do with this part, and we don't need glasses for this one. It'll be it'll be safe, because we're not going to actually hit the metal on this part. What we're going to do is I'll use the short ones because I live life on the edge there, and I'll give you these nice big ones.
Okay.
And so what we're going to do is I'm going to pull out one of these, and I think we'll start. Actually, I'm going to switch to this. Yeah. So what we're going to do. That's the wrong one. That's why you always try to check things before you get at it. But what we're going to do is we're going to. I'm going to pull out this this piece that's got the bit of that cane look at the end. Hey?
Okay.
And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you ones here without actually doing it, and then we'll do it for real. Is I'm going to come up here, I'm going to grab this end and hold that as tight as I can, and you're going to grab the other end of it here, and we're going to literally twist that.
Twist it around.
Using our strength. So this will be kind of fun. You know, when the kids are around doing stuff like this is like one of the funnest party tricks. Be like, I'll make bets with the little guys. Be like, hey, you think I can twist this steel? And they're like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, I used to think that too. And then I just go at it because it's like very satisfying.
Okay, so when it comes to that hook, we're looking to twist. Is it just around like this?
Exactly.
That's the motion?
And I'm just going to like hold it real tight, and you're going to do the twist there.
Okay.
And then we'll see. I'll talk you through as we go.
All right.
But that'll be fun to see for sure.
And so just to again visualize what we're looking for, it looks like we're going for some some twists like
That's
that.
right.
As long as I'm on the same page. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
So give it a moment to get back to heat. And something that's worth noting, and you've probably picked up on it yourself already, and I'm sure some of our viewers have too, obviously the smaller pieces of metal do heat up faster.
Yes.
So there will be times where I'm working one larger project and then a bunch of small ones, and the small ones, again, you can be using a lighter hammer. So that's a way that I give myself a break, but still am being productive and such.
Right, yeah.
So it's a good practice and something to do. So we're getting pretty close here. I'm going to actually like hold this up to the flame so we get
so
that
even
part.
faster heat. Yeah.
Something that you don't see right now is I'll actually have some fire bricks that I'll have in there under where the flame comes out, just to literally raise what I'm working on higher to it. Especially in the winter, I'll do that so that it's closer to the heat and less airspace for that heat to escape to. All right, so are you ready for this?
I think so.
Good
I'm going to be
stuff,
as ready
good
as
stuff.
possible.
All right, and let me get a good grip here. All right, go for it and twist. Yeah. There you go. Good. Keep going. You can go a little further. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Okay, stop there. Well done. So yeah, you can. Isn't that cool? Hey, because
that is so neat.
Two things happen there. The first bit is like it's pretty easy at the first start. You kind of notice that, kind of cool. And then like it gets suddenly very challenging. Hey,
It
as
does.
It cools down, and it happens fast.
It happens so quickly.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of, yeah, you were so right. I was surprised as soon as I clamped on.
Yeah.
As soon as I started twisting, I was like, wow, this is no props whatsoever, so easy. But then, yeah, you were right. As soon as I thought at first it was my positioning, but it makes so much sense.
That was it. Yeah. That happens for a couple reasons. Obviously, the air cools, but then also we have cold steel that's grabbing onto it and also cooling it.
And that looks so cool.
Oh yeah.
I was a little. I wasn't too sure if it was going to look.
Let's bring that up. Take a look at this here. Look at that. Yeah, he did that. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Certainly not alone. Certainly not alone with that. But I could definitely see why it's important to have some good help.
For sure. Or if you're on your own and stuff, there is different types of grips and vices you can get. Like there's one back there, and those are essential if you're on your own, for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
I've been there, done that. It is a trip. So yeah, what we'll do with this piece now is I'm going to pop it back into. We'll straighten out a bit of that where I gave you a little bit of assistance on the last part there.
Okay.
So we'll straighten out the unwanted curve that happened with the assistance. But before that, we'll do a little bit of work on your bottle opener.
Okay.
And probably play with one of these other tongs as well as happening. So we'll pop those safety glasses
back on because safety's always first.
That's right. Pop this down here for the moment. Switch to this. So remember those 2 bumps that we're going to look for?
Yes. I might need some help when it comes to pointing it out, but
and if we only get one this to go, that's all right. But
we'll try to get both. I think we could do both.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
right.
Number 1, do this one because it's cooling faster. There we go. Good. And stop. And one there. Hang on, same spot. This is squared off. Yep, good. And then this spot here.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll turn. What's up? There you go. Go for it. Yeah. Good. And then one more hit. And let's try one here. Yeah, good. And let's just do one right in the middle here to kind of straighten the whole piece. Nice, good.
Perfect.
Yeah. And you know what? We're going to try, see that little wiggle? We're going to try that wiggle even though it's cold. Yeah, there you go. One more. Good. And that actually got it. I got it nicely.
Nice.
There we go. So now, since we're out here already, we're going to scrape at this a bit. And you know what? Here, give this a go. I'll
absolutely.
This is kind of satisfying to clean that off. Careful, that's hot.
That is hot, yes.
Hot metal looks like cold metal.
Hot metal looks like cold metal.
Yeah.
Safety first. Here we go. Okay.
I'm going to rotate it.
Yep.
There you go. Good. Nice.
You can already see it's starting to turn a little bit more silver now, too.
Yeah, exactly. Cleaning it up. And so, yeah, now that we're at the stage that it's closer to finishing on this one, we're going to do a lot more of that cleaning in between as we go. So it's kind of hard to describe, but like right now, I'm imagining flattening out this bit for that actual piece to pop the bottle cap off, curving it, and then we'll probably give a nice little twist and see what else we have room for.
Okay.
As we're doing it, but yeah, a lot of smiths are like quite spatially minded, thinking of viewing what's in the project before it's there.
Right.
So that is definitely a talent that you kind of gain as you smith. The more you do it, the more it comes to you. Yeah.
So can you ever overheat something?
Yeah, for sure. And again, like it depends on the project. There's some bits that are going to be quite sensitive. With what we're doing right now, it's not going to hurt too bad.
Because how do you control the temperature inside?
Right, so a couple methods. Obviously, with the amount of flow of propane that we let in is one of them.
Gotcha.
If we were being very sensitive and if the outside environment was quite cold, we could actually slide these fire bricks in
a little bit
more
further in.
Okay,
opening. Yeah.
That's one way of doing it as well. Earlier I mentioned that this is a pretty large forge, and that has pros in that you can do larger work, but cons in that it's heating a larger space. And that's definitely a bit of a challenge.
Gotcha.
To keep that going.
So it looks like as well too, you got 2 accesses to propane as well.
Indeed,
so
indeed, yeah.
when do you typically use that?
Yeah, so we have these double burners here. That'll depend. Like if I'm working on a very lengthy piece, I'll get both of them going. And if we're doing that forge welding where I want a lot more ambient heat in there, then I'll definitely have them both going as well, and have as much of that closed off as I can. Have the fire bricks raising the material up. All those things to concentrate the heat on the area.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna admit this is. I'm starting to get a little warm now. It is now the ambient temperature in here is definitely gotten a little toasty for sure. Yeah. But that's awesome. That's awesome.
Nice.
So are we going to be twisting next? Is that
so I think what we'll do is I'm going to flatten out one piece and then we'll twist a piece. So hang on to that because we'll do them.
We'll look to finish the flattening.
But I'll flatten up this here. Just kind of straighten this lighter.
We're going to see the master at work here.
Take 5 with the phone. I've got to get this to cool down.
That was a bit of a nasty trick. I had a bit of slag fly into my mouth.
Oh no!
Nice thing is, the slime is cold, so it cooled that off pretty quick.
Well, hey, the importance of PPE right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Personal protective equipment is, it saves you a lot of limbs.
Yeah, you'll find a lot of blacksmiths are bearded, and that is actually for personal protection. You know, having that does stop it from getting back here.
That makes a lot more sense.
Nice. Yeah.
It's not just a style choice.
Not just a style choice. Yeah.
Do you think I would have a future as a blacksmith without the beard?
Oh, you know, it would just be a more exciting career for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
There's definitely a handful of smiths that don't, for sure. Yeah. Amazing. It's not a requirement. It just helps.
Yeah.
Obviously, a young smith like myself, I really appreciate having a space and being able to come and do what I love, and actually, you know, be in a space where I can be sharing that with people. So just want to shout out Fort Whoop-Up. They were so amazing. They've helped me so much on my journey as an emerging artist. And so if you get the chance, if you're in Southern Alberta, pop on by. I'm here a couple more times this season. We roll right into just beginning of September. And there's some special events that happen in the fall and during the holidays as well.
The fort does a lot during the summer, a lot during the spring. So folks anywhere are able to kind of check things out.
Exactly. Yeah. So pop on by and check us out online. There's some neat stuff going on. And then myself as well. I think you guys are able to like pop my website in and stuff. I'm happy to always, you know, share more if you have more questions. So fire away.
Right on.
Yeah. And now with that, we're gonna pop that to kind of cool slowly up here. We're gonna quench this.
We're gonna quench it.
Yeah,
okay, sweet. We got the action shots.
Yeah. So if you get a chance to come on over.
Let's get a nice view of this, Barry.
Yeah.
Everybody likes
All right. So I'm just going to quickly flatten the piece. There you go. Because once you quench, it'll do that. And then come around over here. Take a look at this. This is always exciting. Look at that. That's some excited, some heat going on there for sure. So we're just quenching part of that, which is just fine. And we're going to let the rest of it cool slowly. So I'll work some of that later. Yeah. And then what we're going to do now is show you where that bottle opener has gotten to at this point and possibly finish it off.
Okay.
So I think what we're going to do is we're going to twist it. Give that a bit of that neat twist like you did. So you get that ready. I'll grab this piece. And we'll do it kind of the same as the other one. Okay. I'll bring it out, grab part, and then you grab the rest and twist. I'm going to recommend you grab it where the two parts meet, and you'll see that here in a second. Okay, you set?
Yep.
Yeah, so grab right there, and I'll grab here. Hang on. Let's go back in. Okay. Forgot. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that hasn't lost too much of the heat, so we're going to have to work quick. So you know where you're grabbing now. I'll grab low and start twisting as soon as that happens. Go for it. Yeah. There we go. Go. Oh, wait. Twist like long ways.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. There you go. Yeah. There we go. Keep going a little more. We can do more. That's it. Good job. All right, let's stop there. Nice.
Oh.
Good job.
Accidentally twisted the wrong way. That's okay.
That's all right.
Rookie
Twisted
mistake.
The wrong way.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna lightly flatten this out, and actually, what we'll do, I'll show you a trick. One of the other things Smiths do is, if you've done some of the finesse part, and you want to keep that, obviously you don't want to squish the nice twisted pattern we just did.
Right.
So something that a lot of us will do is somewhere.
A smith always has a bag of tricks.
Have a block of wood.
A block of wood.
A block of wood is very important. And I'll show you why in just a second here. Any guesses?
I think I know. So you're going to basically use this as a surface to hammer.
That's right.
As you have it underneath.
That's right.
It kind of softens the blow and therefore doesn't. It still shapes it, but doesn't. Damage it in the way that we're expecting.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so what I will do is I'll use a light hammer because I don't have my wooden mallet with me. But what you would do is 2 bits of wood, hammering it, which is going to be enough to change the shape without ruining the detail.
Okay. That makes sense.
And I'm using a light hammer, and I've done this a few times that I know how to not give it too much aggression there. But yeah, so, and this is kind of be fun because we'll get some sparks and heat.
That is amazing.
But that allows us to straighten it out without ruining that curve. Yeah, that's looking good. And then I am going to actually, while it's hot, flatten out part of that. We'll just toss this aside for the moment. And you kind of missed most of it, but I did curve it a fair bit on the horn as well. That's really quite neat, just working along like that. We're going to also clean this up a little while we're out here.
You've been so patient with us so far. Obviously, you would work a lot faster when you know what you're doing, right?
For sure. It's a lot of fun down here at Fort Whoop-Up where all different guests coming through, I'll actually be like, time me, and I'll go on something, and like, that's just fun, right?
Amazing.
For sure. And yeah, it's one of those things where, like, it's crazy enough seeing the metal bending and the steel twisting and all, but when you're doing it fast too, it's just like, it still blows my own mind. I've been at this like 6-ish, 7 years almost. Blows my mind. 6 years, yeah. So while we're here, we're going to do another twist. So get ready on. I'll actually cool that down a bit too. That wrench there. Okay. So with this one
we're completing that twist.
Yeah, but we're going to twist lower on it. So you'll grab it where the curve ends, and I'll kind of point at that, and I'll grab it just like kind of in the middle, and we'll do another twist. So grab it right about here. I got it here. Go for it. Yeah. That's it. Keep going. Nice. Yeah. One more if you can. Yeah. Okay. All right. There we go. We'll stop there.
Okay.
Nice. And slightly even this up. This one I'm a little less worried about the prettiness of it because it's a thicker piece of steel, and with a light hammer like this, there's little bumps that we're going to make, but we're not going to lose the twist shape too badly as we're hammering at it, especially light and while it's cooling.
That's right.
And I think we'll quench this at this point. It's looking pretty good there. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
The smoke and steam that we've seen thus far is just, that's so cool.
Oh, yeah. There we go. And then, we'll pop this up here as well to slowly cool. And then yours is looking like we're ready for our next step here.
Another twist?
So I think what we'll do, we're going to actually do a little bit more of a curve and try to give it a bit of a shape.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So, I'm going to use the horn of the anvil here to shape that in a bit. Out here, bit of finesse work. Fold that in on itself. So we're not quite forge welding, these will be separate, but it looks kind of cool that way. And then I think. Because let's see. So you're right-handed. So if you're gripping. So I'm going to actually give this a bit of a curve. And I'll heat that up and then pull this in. And that way you've got this nice kind of grippy bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of thought comes down to the ergonomics of each tool, right?
You know, it's fun because like when you do a craft like this, you're so used to minding your own ergonomics that you do think a lot about whether you're making a knife or making a set of tools or just a bottle opener. It's kind of just instinct to think of like, how do I make this nicer for the user, right? How do I make this actually more functional and comfortable? And so yeah, one of those things that you wouldn't always expect, but it is there. It's in the mind of a lot of blacksmiths. And because again, we're working with it with ourselves, it's something we think about. So I think what we'll do, you got the right idea there. So I'm going to pull this out and grab part of it, and you grab part of it, and we're going to just twist it closed to make a figure eight kind of thing.
Okay.
And then after we get it to a figure eight, grab that bit of wood, pop it back here, and I'll finish up. And then I'll hold it, and you grab the brush and clean her up. And
Nice.
we'll quench her and call it a day.
And that'll be it.
That'll be it. There we are. All right, so it's there just about at this point. I am also going to kill the propane, and then we'll be able to talk a little bit more relaxed fashion, a little less the projection going on.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, are you ready?
I think so. I'm going to try to twist it the right way this time.
Yeah. Again, figure eight.
Figure eight. That's what we're going for.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Okay. Gonna grab here. There we go. And pull her in. That's it. Yeah. Okay. And go grab that block. There we go. Got this. Swaps it here. That nice cedar wood. Hey. Oh, a little bit too close to that there. Grab the outside a bit. This I could actually probably be doing not on the wood part of this, but ooh. Yeah. There we go. It's close. It's not exact, but we've killed the fuel. So
Well, understandable under the time crunch. I think right now.
Would you like to quench this?
Oh, I would be honored, sir.
Go for it. Nice. So yeah, dip her in, pull it out, dip her in again, and then you're good.
Dip her in, pull her out, dip her in again.
Ready? Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. And give it a bit of a swirl in the water there. Nice. Yeah. And you know what? Bring that up onto here.
Let's see. Final presentation.
There we go. So we're nice and cool at that point. It's kind of crazy how fast this cools.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, you know, there's bits here that, you know, we could have refined it a bit, but part of the fun in this is like you've got quite the story about this. You get to keep this, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But yeah, and you made this. You know, this is one of a kind. Got that neat infinity figure eight going on.
For the infinite amount of bottles I can open.
Yeah, that's it. There we go.
Harry's laughing.
I'm enjoying that chuckle in the back there. Yeah. No. All right, that ain't too bad. What do you think? You give it a go.
Wow, I'm just so impressed that it cooled off that quickly.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, that's really neat.
Nice.
And the first piece I forged as well too.
Yeah. Congrats.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your patience and your ability. Like you truly have a lot of time spent at these forges, and it definitely shows as well too. Thank you again to Fort Whoop Up for allowing us to kind of be inside a little bit of history at the same time.
Exactly.
And yeah, do you have any when will we catch your next work?
Oh,
Where
goodness.
will you be working next?
That's a good one. Yeah. I'll be here. I know it's the middle of August. It's a Wednesday morning, and I want to say that it's like the 16th or something like that, but I'm not sure if that's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's probably on the Fort's Facebook. If not, I'll probably have it on my website.
Okay.
And I'll give that to you guys so that people can check that out. But yeah, And then definitely Christmas. There's usually 2 weekends in Christmas, and that's fun because Christmas at the fort is pretty special. They got sleigh rides and everything.
Right.
It's cool.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, folks, for tuning in. This has been the Windy City's Finest. I'm Clark. He's Perry. And this has been William for Blacksmithing.
Such a pleasure blacksmithing with y'all. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day.
Okay. Catch you later, folks. Woo!
It's Clark and Perry on the case. Clark and Perry, do what it takes. Clark and Perry, investigate.
The activities and interests of local artists in the Windy City's Finest throughout both Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, Alberta. Available on TELUS, Optic TV, On Demand, VidFlex, YouTube, and more for limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.